Chapter 22 King Luther's POV. Your Highness, the warriors on patrol found this on our territory's border. Chapter 22 King Luther's POV. Your Highness, the warriors on patrol found this on our territory's border, Alexander said, handing me a black envelope. What is it? I asked in confusion. Well, Alpha, judging by the imprint on the back, I'm assuming it's a letter from our favorite King Maxwell. I narrowed my eyes at my beta's sarcasm. He was more of a brother to me than just a beta. I sighed in frustration as I checked the contents of the envelope. It was yet another threat for war, unless I give him my daughter to be his Luna. Why can't he just leave her alone? Anger filled my body, and my wolf was fighting to take over. He wanted to go rip that guy's throat out and feed him to the earthworms. How dare he think that he could just take my daughter away? She wasn't even his mate, nor did he love her. All he wanted was her power. My daughter Sophie has the ability to control air. She could start a hurricane or a tornado if she set her mind to it, and King Maxwell wanted to use her to gain power over all of us. Alexander, I think we'll have to ask for our Alpha's help. War is on its way. No way in hell will I let him use my daughter in any way. Logan's POV. Eva! I woke up with a start as two animals sang Eva's name as they abruptly entered our room. These idiots didn't even knock. I felt Eva jump up from her place at the surprise. I turned my body protectively in front of her and growled at the twins standing in the door. They were spreading their arms wide as they grinned at us. Like usual, they were both wearing the same outfit, making it even harder for us to tell them apart. What? We just wanted to ask Eva if she wanted some lollipops, one of them said, as he waved his lollipop-containing hand in front of his face. Why would I want lollipops this early? Eva asked from behind me. My head whipped around to look at her. Is she normal again? Eva, how old are you? I asked wryly. She scrunched her face in confusion. 20? Why? She asked with confidence. She wasn't stuttering, and she didn't look afraid from the twins' presence. Nothing, I replied back. Oh, man, she's back, one of the twins said grumpily. I guess we'll just leave now, the other said, as they both turned towards the door with slumped shoulders and sad expressions. Those idiots. Wait, Blake, Eva called. The twin holding the lollipop turned around, and soon his twin followed. I didn't say that I didn't want the lollipops, she said mischievously. Her words weren't reaching us as we were all giving her appalled looks. How did you know that I was Blake and not Blaine? Blake asked the question I was dying to know the answer to. Eva shrugged. The same way I know that he's Blaine. She pointed at the other twin. And he's Logan. She pointed at me. You can really tell them apart, Eva? I asked, bewildered. She just nodded simply. Wow, the twin now I know is Blaine said. No one was ever able to tell us apart, Blake said. Eva furrowed her eyebrows at them. So, are you going to give me the lollipops or not? She asked with a raised eyebrow. She wasn't shy or afraid to take them anymore. I guess the 3-year-old her brought back some, if not all, of her courage. Blake smirked at me. Come and get it. Come on, just give it to me, Eva whined. No can do, Blake replied playfully. Eva tugged at my shirt and gave me her puppy dog eyes. Logan, she pleaded softly, and with that, I was a goner. Blake, lollipops, now, I ordered with my alpha voice. Blake came to the bed muttering incoherent words under his breath. He handed Eva the lollipops, narrowing his eyes at her. Cheater, he mumbled, but Eva just stuck her tongue out at him and snatched the lollipops. Blake walked back to the door, but not before scowling at me. Not cool, cuz. Not cool. I narrowed my eyes at him. The twins left the room, and I turned around to look at Eva. I remember, she spoke before I got a chance to open my mouth. Remember? Remember what? The past? I asked. She looked down. I wish. I meant that I remember what happened yesterday, when I was, she explained. I crossed my arms over my chest and raised an eyebrow. Uh-huh, you do, I taunted. Her face reddened, and she hung her head low even more. Yeah, sorry about your paper, she apologized. Yeah, that was a pretty important paper, I sighed. Her face reddened even more, if that was possible. You were a very naughty child. I guess that was one of the reasons my parents gave me away, she said sadly. I reached out and hugged her tightly. She responded and wrapped her arms around my torso. It's all right now. Don't think about them. You've got us, right? I cooed softly as I ran my fingers through her hair. She nodded. Yeah, I have you, she whispered into my chest. We should probably go down to eat before the twins finish up everything, she said, pulling away. I laughed at her comment, and I couldn't help the happiness I felt because of her renewed confidence. She wasn't scared anymore, and a part of me was grateful for yesterday's incident. Something crossed my mind, and I stopped Eva from going to the bathroom. I held her wrist, making her turn around to look at me. Eva, why did you drink that potion in Alexis's room? I asked. Her face flushed deep red, and she averted her gaze. I tugged at her hand and gently pulled her on the bed again. I actually, she sighed audibly and closed her eyes. I wanted a potion to make me remember the past, to remember when I first met you, she said. I chuckled at her embarrassment. And you actually thought that just taking any potion will help? I asked in amusement. She blushed even more. What? No one was there, and because Chloe told me it was blue in color, I took one of the blue potions, she defended. I chuckled again at her innocence. She scowled at me and went to the bathroom. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop laughing, I said, standing in front of the bathroom door. But as soon as the words were out, a chuckle followed. Go away, I heard her say from behind the door. I'll go get dressed. I'll be waiting, I yelled, making my way to our walk-in closet. I slipped on some denim jeans and a red button-down shirt. I ran my fingers through my hair, just to tame it down. Eva came into the closet and narrowed her eyes at me when our gazes locked. I grinned at her widely, and she just ignored me and went to her side of the closet. I saw her searching through the dresses until she settled on a plain gray, full-sleeved dress that reached her middle thigh. She grabbed some leggings and off-white scarf. She carried the clothes in her hands and turned around only to come face to face with me. Are you really going to ignore me? I asked with a smirk. I'm not ignoring you, she stammered and looked away. Oh, really? I took a step towards her, making her take a step back. She wasn't that far from the closet, so her back instantly hit the wooden shelves. She was trapped. Yes, really. I'm talking to you now, right? She reasoned out. So you're not mad at me? It came out more as a statement than a question. She shrugged her shoulders. I took another step forward, our faces inches apart. Eva sucked in her breath as sparks erupted from where our bodies touched. Her eyes were closed, and I could feel her uncertainty. Just as I thought, she still wasn't ready for me to even kiss her, and I'm not planning on rushing her into anything. I leaned in and placed a kiss on her forehead instead. Come on, go get ready, I told her as I pulled back. She nodded her head and practically ran to the bathroom. I sighed and ran my hand through my hair again. I so wanted to kiss her. Eva's POV. Even though I woke up this morning in a very unlikable way, I didn't feel scared seeing the twins. It took me a while to remember what happened yesterday, and for some reason, I feel livelier, more confident, and less scared. Maybe the potion had something to do with it. I sighed in disappointment. I wanted a potion to make me remember when I first met Logan. But instead, I became a 3-year-old. Even Logan seemed a bit disappointed that I didn't remember, even though he said nothing about it. I turned off the water faucet and stepped out of the shower. I dried myself, then started putting on the clothes that I'd picked. I blushed deeply as I remembered how close I was to Logan a couple of minutes ago. Our bodies were stuck together, and our faces only inches apart. I closed my eyes, inhaling his intoxicating scent, when I felt him kissing my forehead, then pulling back. I speed-walked to the bathroom, afraid that he would see my flaming face. When I was fully dressed, I ran a brush through my hair and stepped out of the bathroom. Logan was sitting on the bed, looking through his phone. His lips lifted into a smile when he saw me. He stood up and reached his hand for me to take. "You look really beautiful, Eva," he whispered sweetly in my ear. I felt my face heating up, but I still couldn't help the smile that was making its way to my face. We descended the stairs and entered the kitchen. As always, everyone was there. They all beamed at us for the second time. I was pulled away from Logan and next to the girls. "Mom, she's my mate, you know. I'd like to sit next to her at breakfast, too," Logan whined. Claire rolled her eyes at him. "Girls sit together. You go hang out with your father." Logan groaned. I, on the other hand, was enjoying this with a huge smile. I wish my mother and I were that close. "So, Eva, how are you feeling now?" Alexis asked, snapping me out of my thoughts. I smiled at her. "Well, I'm back," I shrugged. She chuckled along with Chloe and Claire. "Yes, you're back," Chloe repeated. I heard the twins murmur something grumpily under their breaths. "Okay, everyone, the boys and I will be heading out now. There will be more guards around the pack house in case anything happened. And please, refrain from going out while we're not there," Alpha Samuel announced, sending the last part to his mate. Claire, in particular, she nodded at him. Logan came up to me and kissed my forehead again. "I'll be back soon, okay? If you need anything, ask any of the girls, and please be safe," he said, locking me with his gaze. He pulled away, but I was quick to grab his wrist with both my hands. "Where are you going?" I asked with disappointment. I didn't want him to leave. He knelt down to my level and held my hands in his. "I'll explain everything when I come back. I don't want you to worry, okay?" he told me gently. "When are you coming back?" I asked. "Tomorrow afternoon," he replied wearily. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you before, but I didn't have the chance to." I shook my head. "It's okay," I told him reassuringly. He kissed my knuckles and stood to his feet. "Mom, please look after her." Logan turned to his mom. "I will, Logan. She's my daughter now." Claire smiled at him as she came to stand by my side, her hands on my shoulders. Logan smiled wildly at us and turned around and left with the rest. Now it was only me, Claire, Chloe, and Alexis in the house. They all turned around to look at me. "So, Eva, how is everything with Logan?" Chloe asked, wiggling her eyebrows. Alexis smacked her on the back of her head while I just gave her a confused look. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Oh, you know, the usual with mates," she replied, taking a couple of steps back away from Alexis. "Isn't it obvious, Chloe? He still didn't mark her," Alexis said in a matter-of-fact tone. "I know that, but you guys definitely kissed already, right?" Chloe asked. "Kissed? Well, if you count the forehead and knuckle kisses, then yeah." I nodded at her. She raised her eyebrow and asked, "On the lips?" This time I shook my head vigorously as my face turned beet red. Oh my God, he didn't kiss you? Not even once?" she asked in disbelief, to which I shook my head again. "But he's an alpha. How was he able to control his wolf? He didn't even mark you," Chloe said with wide eyes. Is it really that bad? Was the problem in me? Chloe, I don't think that's something we should meddle in, Claire scolded. Is it my fault? I asked. They all gave me a confused look. What do you mean? Claire asked me. You said that Logan didn't even mark me yet. Is it me? Doesn't he want me as his mate? I know I said that I trusted Logan, but if he really did love me like he claims, why didn't he mark me, let alone kiss me yet? No, Claire replied in a hurry. That's not it at all. Can't you see, Eva? Logan is head over heels in love with you, Alexis said. Then why didn't he kiss me yet? Maybe he doesn't want to scare you. Taking in consideration your past, maybe he's afraid that you'll push him away if he did, Chloe reasoned. Yeah, maybe he thinks that you're not ready for any of this, Alexis completed. But I don't mind, I told them truthfully. If it was a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I would be terrified because I didn't trust anyone, but now I'm way better. I wasn't afraid like I used to be. The people here love and care for me. I myself feel protected and loved by Logan. As you can say, I do feel the mate pull, and I wouldn't mind at all if he marked me. Then tell him, Claire said, snapping me back. Show him that you are ready. But how? I asked. Then all seemed to be thinking when Chloe snapped her fingers and beamed at us. Go on a date, she said. Yes, go on a date. You guys never got to go out together before. This is your chance, Alexa piped in. A date? Yeah, maybe that'll work. A date it is then. I smiled wildly at them, and they did the same.